My guest today is Dr. Charles Regalado. Dr. Regalado has been practicing dentistry for more than 20 years in the state of Washington, so he knows what he's talking about. Dr. Regalado, there are so many teeth whitening systems on the market today. I want to get your take on a few of these because I'm sure you've seen them all. Number one, the toothpastes.
Well, you know, we've talked about it before, how a lot of the tooth color is a genetic component, and a lot of that comes from the dentin underneath, and then whatever is your enamel thickness and things like that. So based upon that, you can understand that toothpastes are not going to do a whole lot to give you the whiter teeth you want. If you have some stains, sure, I would maybe suggest some very superficial light stains, not attached very well. You can clean those. But by and large, the toothpaste are pretty abrasive, and they're actually hurting your cause because if they pit and give you porosities on your enamel, you're just going to pick up more stain later on.
How about the whitening strips or the gels that I see promoted all the time?
Yeah, you know, these whitening strips are actually effective. They're the same ingredients that dentists use, so they're in a lower concentration, and it's in a slightly different variety of a bleach. There are different types of bleach, some short-term, some long-acting. Those are the short-acting ones. They're a little difficult to use. That's the biggest complaint.
What do you mean short-acting? As in
what
duration?
What people may or may not know is what we use for bleaching teeth is nothing more than hydrogen peroxide. That's what's doing the job, but not in a kind that you can buy in a bottle. And there is a hydrogen peroxide bleaching gel. The white strips use these. It's hydrogen peroxide. You put it on, the hydrogen peroxide immediately goes to work. But it's only effective, very unstable. 20 minutes, it's done. You're done.
How long does that last?
It's a very short and a quick bleaching effect, but it doesn't give it time to go really deeper. The key to bleaching is time and dose. If you can keep a lower dose on your teeth for a longer period of time, you're going to get a deeper bleach as that bleach has time to penetrate through the enamel and bleach the dentin underneath as well. So besides hydrogen peroxide, we have carbamide peroxide, and that breaks down slowly over time.
So I'm guessing these trays are a great solution because people put them in overnight, and that's a good, usually 8 hours.
Yeah, and really obviously, I mean, I'm going to be a big pusher for the dentist-made custom-fitted trays. You can buy trays over the counter as well, but they're going to be bigger and bulkier, and a lot of people have trouble wearing those overnight. So a well-fitted, thin, flexible tray that's comfortable, you can't even tell it's there, is really the best way to go to using the carbamide peroxide for a long-term bleaching effect.
So would these rinses be short-term because they're only on the teeth for a very short period of time?
I think you're probably wasting your money with a lot of rinses because, again, very short-term, it's hardly on the tooth surface. You're not going to get a whole lot of effect with those. You're not going to be, if you already have white teeth, it's probably a decent, you know, maintenance type of a thing. But if you have darker teeth and stained teeth, you want to get rid of that, it's not going to do very much for you, frankly.
Can people overdo it with these by leaving them on too long or too often?
Well, I can think of one patient that I have. Her teeth are about as white as a white sheet, and I don't know how she does it. But in order to do that, she bleaches every single day. Common sense tells me that's probably not real healthy. But you know, in her case, she does that. That's the only way to be able to keep it really long term.
So these are some temporary solutions: the toothpaste, the strips, the gels, the rinses, some of the trays. What's a temporary time frame? Are we talking just a few days, a few weeks?
Well, you will see with white strips, for instance, or even dentists or over the counter, any kind of a quick hydrogen peroxide, you're going to see probably an immediate whitening as soon as you take this off and are brushing your teeth. But it's also going to pretty quickly, immediately start to relapse back to what you were before. So over time, it has a cumulative effect and it'll whiten your teeth up for sure. But for the most part, if you did it only a few times, you're only going to have whitening effect for just a day or so, and then you're going to have to keep it up and do it again.
So some of these people look unnatural to you when they come in, when they've overdone it?
You know, there's very few people that can overdo it. I would say no for the most part. I think for the most part, people look pretty good when they bleach their teeth. All bleaching is temporary, though.
Is there a permanent solution? Is there anything longer term that they have to come in and do?
Yeah, there is. In certain situations, either some kind of a composite resin veneering by your dentist or porcelain veneering is really the only way to get more permanent, long-lasting effect of the kind of smile that you want to have. And I'm not knocking bleaching. I actually like bleaching. I encourage it a lot. I think with the deeper bleaching, with some of these longer-term, safer bleaching, I only use bleaching that's well-studied and safe. You're going to find that you can whiten your teeth up pretty good for several months. Some people will maybe not bleach again for another year or 2 years. But by and large, I find in my practice, most people want to be whiter than what the bleaching products can give them.
Boy, it sure does boost your self-esteem, though, doesn't it?
It is, a smile is everything, in my opinion.
All right. Dr. Regalado, thank you very much.
All right, thanks, Dave.